I'm at a playground. I don't know exactly how this is gonna go. I don't have any expectations for this live stream. I'm just kind of trying something out, I guess, that I've been wanting to try out for a while. I've done this before. I've done like a themed stream before. Okay. So I don't know. I'm gonna not fall off and die on this. I'm gonna find a place to sit. Once again, nobody's here yet, but welcome. Hope you're well today. I don't know. I'm gonna just say what's on my mind, I guess. We live in a fucked up world. We really do, and not just because humans are flawed, but because people can be very evil, for the lack of a better word. And maybe it's just being misguided. Maybe these people are misguided. You know what I mean? But like, I don't know. I've encountered a lot of people on my journey. I'm gonna take these off. I don't like the glare. I've encountered a lot of people on this journey. A lot of different types of people. I've grown to enjoy, appreciate a lot of people. I've also grown to be very wary of certain types of people. You know, and I don't know. I was doing a little bit of shadow work. I was like digging into my shadow a little bit before this moment. Had a nice, I call it a meditation moment. I don't know. I was just kind of silently talking to myself, talking to my spirit, whatever. And like, once again, there's a lot of fucked up things in this world. There's also a lot of beauty. There's also a lot of really awesome things to appreciate. There's a lot of fucked up things that go on in the world, you know? And I don't know. I feel like if you can choose to disagree, whatever. You can believe that the world is sunshine and roses, but you would definitely be wrong on an objective level. But I say that to say you believe whatever you want, but like when you choose to deny the fact that like we live in a fucked up world and we like, you know, there's a lot of people who don't play very fairly. There's a lot of people who like manipulate and like control and like lie and all this stuff. And like, I don't know, everyone's different. And like I was thinking to myself, like, is it unnecessary to kind of put a moral inclination on my worldview? You know what I mean? Because there is a philosophy that says there's no inherent good or bad. It's just what feels good and what doesn't. But I feel like that's an oversimplified thing. Um, you know, and like, because I was really sitting with myself. I was really like, should I be thinking that there's like a moralistic, you know what I mean? But that is in my nature. Like, you know what I mean? I appreciate feeling being feeling like being slash whatever a good person. Like, you know, I would prefer to you know, because I was really just thinking about it. I was like, I've been in fucked up situations where like it would have been justified for me to do some fucked up things, and I've been in other situations where maybe it wasn't. I don't know. I don't have the craziest track record, so thought I saw somebody. I'm just kind of talking. If there's anybody here, hello, hope you're well. If you want to add your 2 cents, if you want to say anything, you're welcome to, whether you're watching in real time or after the fact. Um, but yeah, and I don't know. The more that I experience things, the more that I go through this journey, the more that I kind of like have to detach myself from the feelings of like that's fucked up. You know what I mean? Because it is what it is, and like you can't control people to like do better. Like because then you kind of would just be as bad as like the people who like try to control other people for like other reasons. I feel like maybe that's incorrect. Maybe that's not necessarily an accurate sentiment, but you know what I mean? It's like live and let live. Really, I feel like is the most enlightened way to live because it's just like people are going to do what they want to do at the end of the day, at the end of the night. They're going to do exactly whatever they want to do. Whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether it's questionable, whatever. People are going to do whatever they want to do. You know what I mean? Hello, welcome. I'm just kind of here talking about stuff, talking about corruption and all that jazz. I was kind of like in a deep meditation moment before I started, like before I got on here. And I was like, you know what, let me do something with this energy. You know what I mean? But yeah, what was I saying? I don't know. If you want to chime in, if you want to, add your 2 cents or whatever, you're welcome to. I'm supposed to meet with a counselor today, and I'm kind of nervous about it. I've been trying my best not to project my own experiences onto the situation, because I've experienced a lot of nonsense, a lot of betrayal, a lot of, you know what I mean? Just annoyingness. With health professionals, mental health professionals. And like, I know we're all human, we're all flawed to some degree, but it's just like, to what extent does that become like an excuse that we're just allowed to use? Like, this is a job that you get paid. That's the bottom line. We live in a capitalistic society. You're getting paid to do a job, and that job is to help me with my mental health. You know what I mean? And the idea that there would be anybody who like gets to kind of abuse that and like misuse that is beyond me. You know what I mean? And once again, like I was saying a minute ago, it's like, maybe I shouldn't have such a moralistic viewpoint of it, and maybe I shouldn't be like, oh, well, that's good, that's bad. You know what I mean? Because maybe that's, obviously I can personally feel that way, but you know what I mean? I don't know. Ah, there's a buggy bug. It's the government, they're watching. But yeah, like, we live in a fucked up world, and it's really annoying. And it's even more annoying because a lot of people are fooled into like doing bad things, you know what I mean? And it's like, not even that people are always like evil, it's just like people are misguided, you know what I mean? Like, at the core of it, that's really what it is. Like, a lot of people are like deeply misguided. And so then it's like, I'm the only one who, like, not obviously the only one, but in my environment, in my life, I'm the only one who like sees through the illusion, sees through the bullshit, and everybody else is just like, why are you not conforming? Why are you not doing what everybody else is doing? Why are you not acting this way that we're acting? You're very different. I don't like it. And then I'm made to be the bad guy. I'm made to be the villain because no offense, but I guess I'm too smart to like fall for the BS. You know what I mean? Yes. That's valuable information. I don't know. I just needed to let it out. I was doing a little bit of shadow work. I just needed to kind of do something relatively productive with what I was like experiencing. So that's what this keyword try. So that's what this stream is. I'm just kind of, I don't know, sharing my stream of consciousness while I'm in this weird energy. You know what I mean? I can't hear you. Not your fault. Construction on my side. Oh, oops. Oopsie daisy. There was construction over here. There's been a lot of construction lately. Maybe that's a sign. Maybe that's a message or something. Synchronicity. There's been a lot of construction. Drilling through the wall. I feel you. Everything's a work in progress. Nothing's perfect, I guess. Even perfection itself is a myth, in a way, And also, another thing that I was thinking about before this, oh my god, I almost stepped on my glasses. That would not have been good. Wearing headphones, that's good. Headphones can be very useful when there's background noise and stuff. But because the one reason why I was thinking about this stuff is because of this new counselor that I'm supposed to meet, and like, I'm not projecting anything personal onto the situation. I'm not trying to, like, you know what I mean, make it what it isn't. But like, I'm pretty good at pattern recognition. You know what I mean? So like, if this breaks the pattern somehow, that'd be cool. But I feel like it'd definitely be a lot more difficult to break this sort of pattern of me having to connect with people who lack emotional intelligence, people who lack empathy. You know what I mean? And I don't mean to say that as like judgment or like, a negative. Like, we're all different. We're all who we are. Like, you know what I mean? We all have our strengths and our weaknesses. But for me, it becomes like very constricting when I'm having to communicate with people, having to connect with people who like just lack basic empathy. You know what I mean? Once again, we all have our strengths and weaknesses, and I to some degree, apathetic people can be pretty fun. But you know what I mean? It's just draining. And the fact that like on a large scale, like a lot of people have to deal with this. A lot of people who aren't as articulate as me, aren't as aware as me, you know what I mean, have to kind of deal with like people who half-ass their jobs when it comes. And when I say jobs, I mean like people in the mental health profession, you know, and also the health field, I guess, too. But yeah, because it really did feel like, and I'm using that word very carefully, it felt like these last two counselors were like, you know what I mean? Because it was like, you're a mental health professional. You're supposed to be able to de-escalate a situation and like, you know what I mean? But it seemed like they exacerbated my anger. It seemed like they made it worse. Like if I expressed something to them in a calm way, I would find myself being angry. And it was like, why am I yelling? Like I literally said a prayer before this moment. You know what I mean? Like it's like that sort of energy of like, because I'm really in tune. I'm very in tune, not to toot my own horn. And so like, it's not even just a matter of like flesh, you know what I mean? It's like a spiritual thing. It's like, and I don't know, it's like some people don't want to like be seen, I guess. I don't know if that's what it is. At least for that woman, I think that's what it was. Because then I told her, I was like, you like I'm literally I see, you know? And like I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to like condemn you or anything, but it's just like you're doing stuff that is like actively irritating my spirit. And like when I point it out in a calm manner, it's like you deflect and you don't want to take responsibility. And I'm like, once again, as a mental health professional, I feel like you should have the tools to kind of meet people where they are, you know? But once again, our system is very flawed and they don't actually teach. Most schools don't teach from like a spiritual perspective, you know what I mean? They allow their own emotions. And it was crazy because the second counselor literally said, I don't, like, I'm not quoting him verbatim. I've talked about this in a video before, but he literally said something along the lines of like, I don't engage with feelings and emotions. And I was like, what? And like, I don't know, I said it in the most clear, direct way. Like, you're a mental health professional. You should understand feelings and emotions. And you should be willing to, like, be considerate of that. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't know. I would like to believe that in a way I was, like, introducing them to the idea of, like, compassion and empathy. But, you know, obviously, if they're not open to it, they're not open to it. And that's a lesson that I'm learning. Like, you can't force people to, like, evolve and be better. You can give them the tools, but, like, they have to take it themselves. They cannot comprehend us when they have not lived in our shoes. That I feel like that's a very innocent perspective, and I'm not saying it's wrong, but like I don't know, to some degree I feel like some people know exactly what they're doing and they just refuse to, like, you know what I mean, try to understand. I don't know, maybe that's wrong, maybe that's too harsh of a perspective, but I don't know, because it's like I once again, I don't mean to sound like I'm like an outlier, like I'm the exception to the rule, but I communicate very well. I know how to communicate in a way where I can like break down complex ideas, especially when it's one-on-one, when I'm like talking directly to someone. And so when I'm speaking very clearly and I'm like saying exactly what's going on and I'm saying it in the most, you know what I mean, broken down way, it's like, do you really not understand? Are you that lacking in brain cells? No judgment, no shame. Or like, are you purposely just not trying to get it so that you don't have to make adjustments? Because that's, at the end of the day, when you learn new information, you're supposed to make adjustments. You're supposed to, you know what I mean, change your habits and stuff. And that can be a lot. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't want to do that. A lot of people are lazy, quite honestly. And so when they receive new information, a lot of people, cognitive dissonance will like kick in and they'll be like, well, you know, I don't really think that applies to me, you know. And it's like, what the heck? What is this design? Look at this. This is like the top of the slide. And once again, I say all this with like as little judgment as I can because like I'm trying to be less judgmental about how I approach people and how I talk about people. But like once again, when you connect with the Holy Spirit, it's just like, it's correction. It's you know what I mean? Like there's a moral stipulation there, and it's just like, I don't really care that you don't like it. Then maybe you should just get away from me if you don't like it. You know what I mean? And that's why I've requested a new counselor, because it's like, you're not going to like gaslight me and make me feel crazy because you don't understand what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like that, because he was really trying to force himself onto me. He was like, I'm going to help you. I'm going to be your counselor and we're going to, and it was like, bro, you're not even giving me anything valuable. Like you're telling me that I'm about to go to prison because I talk to people. Like what? You know what I mean? Like that was the narrative he went with. He was like, you're on the road to prison. After I told him how spiritual I was like, bro, are you really that like stupid? Like what? You know? keyword judgments, they do use them rather than exactly. I'm sorry, I'm reading your comments. I'm looking. Yeah, but like I don't know, it takes a certain like heart to like really comprehend, you know, and a lot of these people lack that, unfortunately. You know, they're just logic and rationale. And that's not how spirit works. Spirit is very irrational, you know. Not irrational, that's not the way to say it. But you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense to our human brain. And it's like when you try to force it, it's just like you get nothing because that's not how that works, you know? I don't know. And then my mom's trying to get me with a whole nother counseling agency, and that's like a whole thing. I don't know. I just need people who actually know what they talk about. Why are you here? You're not blocked. What? The I did. I didn't even notice what was going on. That is so funny. I'm saying it's not that funny. But you know, I'm trying to stay on theme, stay on topic, because that's why I don't usually do these sorts of like themed videos because my brain goes all over the place. I'm gonna slide. I'm not gonna slide down. I don't want to get electrocuted. Also, I think it's wet at the bottom of the slide, so I'm not gonna do that. Oh, what does this say? Oh, that's a bad word right there. I don't know what that says. That other word, but it says F something. I don't know. I hate gay people. Oh my gosh, what the heck? I hate HMS. High School Musical? That's not HMS. Shut the F up. Wow, who is... Somebody in this slide is dealing with a lot of emotions. Oh my gosh. There's a heart, I guess. Somebody's dealing with a lot. Thank you for liking the live. I don't know who did that, but if it's the person who got blocked, I appreciate you. But I don't know if the block feature really works because I feel like I blocked people and then they show up back up. So I don't really, I'm scared to block people because it's embarrassing to think that I'm blocking someone and then it doesn't do anything. And I'm like, what was the point of me even hitting the button? It's a lot of hate on this. There's another heart, but a lot of this is like very hateful. There's like an X. Oh goodness. Gathering information to filter what you need and what's necessary. They come back with new names. Yeah. I recorded a video earlier about gang stalking and shit like that. And I don't know, like, I don't talk about stuff like that regularly, but I've had a lot of experience with like people who have gone through that. And so like it won't be out until February. Like it's like a future video. But like, I don't know, we live in a crazy world. And you really have to be like extra wise, unfortunately, to survive. Either that or you just join the cult. I don't know. So there was a video, somebody was saying that it was like in order to succeed in this world you do have to join cults. You do have to join a cult or whatever. And I'm saying this in a non-serious context, because what are we defining as a cult? Most institutions are a cult, I guess. So, but you know what I mean? I'm saying it in a non-serious context. But it is something to think about. Like, this world is very... It's like a lot of gangs. But these gangs are like corporations and shit. You know what I mean? No, you don't. I don't know what you're saying. No, you don't too. But yes. Also, I'm like kind of paranoid because there's this guy in the corner in the distance over there. He's just kind of like, I don't know. Like, maybe I was being too loud. I don't know. Like, to me, it's obvious that he's like kind of listening in on, but maybe that's me being paranoid. I don't know. And it's like, I don't like mind. I'm obviously projecting my thoughts into the internet. But like, I don't know. Maybe he just likes my vibe. I don't know. I'm not assuming anything. I don't know nothing about nothing. Yes, that's true. You don't have to join a cult. I like how you spelled occult. I don't want to slide down this. I'm scared I'm gonna get electrocuted if I go down this slide. Hold on. Oh my glasses. Ouch. 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 Boot. This is a very dangerous thing. How do people not die on this? Maybe that's a morbid thing to say, but like the way you could like literally jump off, and for a toddler, I'm like, that's. I don't know why I'm thinking about that, because I'm like scared to like fall down or something. If I just jump down there, I'm not gonna do that. The real spelling of the occult. Oh, I think we're talking about two different things or something. I'm talking about like. Never mind. I don't know. I mean, technically, I am in the occult because occult just means hidden knowledge. Semantics. You know, which technically it's not even really hidden because I'm very open about it. But a lot of people use that shit in the dark. That's the shit I don't like. The secrecy. If you're gonna do it with your full chest, you know what I mean? But people are too scared. Anyways, hopefully I didn't veer off from the main topic too much in this. These usually take like 7 years to upload, so who knows when this will actually be live or whatever. I don't know. But I don't know, I feel like this was a decent conversation. Stay safe, stay wise, stay smart, and stay groovy. Bye!